Hey everyone, it's On here from my steps to success.com. I hope you had a chance to check out part 1 and part 2 of the 4-part series on how make money online really works. If you haven't had a chance to check them out, I will leave the links in the description box below. In this video, I'm going to share with you part 3, and that is building authority and developing relationships with your list. You have probably heard of this saying that people only do business with people they know, like, and trust. So if people don't know you, they don't like you, and they don't trust you and see you as valuable, they will not do business with you. It's just that simple. People care about what you can do for them, how you can make them feel better, and how you can help solve their problems. People aren't going to buy from someone who is selfish, someone who doesn't provide any value, and someone who just spam their links all over the place and expect others to buy something. The problem for a lot of people that try to make money online is that they do a poor job of building trust. Too many people try to pitch, promote, or sell too quickly and aggressively. This is one of the reasons that people unsubscribe or stop opening your emails. It's important that you avoid that if you want to build a lasting relationship with your list, because no one wants to be sold to all the time. I believe a good rule of thumb is the 80-20% rule. What I mean by that is that 80% of your emails should be packed with valuable and helpful content and resources, and 20% should include paid offers for your products and services. So how exactly do you build authority and relationships with your list? If you have been following my previous videos or my blog posts on this topic, you know in part 1 I talked about value exchange, and that is to provide a solution to someone's problem. And in part 2 I talked about list building, and that is to invite people you helped from part 1 to a free offer, and they give you their contact information such as their name, their email address in exchange for that free offer. And the next step is to keep these people on your list. And this is the most important step, because when you're able to successfully build an audience, you're not too far away from that big prize, which is money. And remember that what I said in part 2, the beautiful thing about having an audience is that more people are going to open up your emails and read your content or watch your videos, and they're going to continue to follow you because they find you valuable and they like your information. So the question is, how do you keep these people on your list? It's actually quite simple. You accomplish that by continue to provide them additional value. You might be thinking, well, I have already provided them the solution to their problem in part 1. Now, what do I do next? Remember, there are a couple of things that you can do to provide solution. The first one is that you find a solution to a problem. And then the other one is that you identify a problem and then create a solution for that problem. You want to be able to think beyond the original reason that people enter their email to accept that free offer. You can include related topics that are likely to be additional problems that need your attention or your solution. If you're confused at this point, no worries, because I'm going to explain everything that I talked about with a fishing example, so everything will be clear. Okay, this is the blueprint or the big picture on how make money online really works. In part 1 I talked about value exchange. In part 2 I talked about list building. I have videos and also articles on those two. I will put links in the description box below so you can check them out in your spare time. And I will talk about part 3, which is building authority and developing relationships. And I will make a separate video on part 4, which is about making offers that turn into sales. So I'm gonna give you an example, a fishing example of how it fits in this blueprint. So this little guy right here, let's just call him Mike. So Mike is a first-time fisherman. He doesn't really know how to select bait, so that would be the problem. You, on the other hand, happen to have a fishing business and you know exactly how to fix his problem. So you provide him solution by helping him select the right type of bait. Now you solved his problem, and this is what's called value exchange. It's an exchange that you make that leaves someone better than they were before connecting with you. So now you have successfully provided a solution to Mike by helping him select the right type of bait. Next, what you want to do is to make an offer to the people you helped in part 1 so that you can continue the conversation with them. And this offer is where you're going to send them to a website. When these people land on that website, you have the ability to collect their contact information, such as their name, their email address, and their contact information will then be put on your list, and that list will be stored in a software platform such as GetResponse, MailChimp, Sendlink. There are a number of autoresponders out there. So when we talked about bait, it's very likely that Mike is going to need information on the actual poles and rods, hooks, and other fishing supplies. He might also need information on ponds or lakes that are going to bite the bait for the fish he wants to catch. There are a number of other things that he might need that you can offer to him. You can create offers out of the things that I mentioned earlier. So the offer can be a mini course, it can be a free ebook, it can be free video and PDF download, a number of other things. The goal is to send Mike and many others to your website where they can opt in to receive free offer. And once they opt in by giving you their contact information, now you have a way to stay in contact with them and continue to offer them additional value. And that leads to part 3. Now it's time to build relationship and establish authority and position yourself to start making money. The question is, how do you build relationship with these people and also establish your authority? It's actually simple. You do that by being trustworthy, credible, and helpful, and which you've already demonstrated that you are because you have gotten Mike and many others on your list. It's now time to dig deeper into the relationship. The way you want to do that is to continue the path that you are on before, and this is to continue deliver value. We have to think beyond the original reason that people enter their email to include related topics are likely to be additional problems that need your solution. So the original problem in this example for Mike, the problem was bait. Okay, so he needed help with the bait selection, and bait is actually a subcategory of fishing. Now you have to think about what other things or someone who had a problem with the bait selection also need assistance with, and here are some of the examples. So you can see that equipment is one of them. You can create content that teaches people about how to use certain fishing equipment. You can write content about water, such as fresh water and salt water. You can talk about the differences. You can share your stories about your fishing experience, something that can be entertaining and also gives value. You can also interview people that are experts in your niche by bringing value to your audience. You can also do training videos or training courses on any fishing related topics. You can also write lifestyle related content and share with your audience. You can also do Q&A. Maybe your list is asking you questions and you can deliver content by answering their questions. You can also share with your list on what's going on in the fishing world. And I can go on and on, but I think you get a point. There are plethoras of things that you can share with your list that you're building, and this is going to definitely help you build your relationship with your list and definitely establish authority as an expert and trusted advisor in your niche. So the more you build, the more you give, the more value that your audience is going to find, and the more authority you're going to establish. So how often should you email your list? Since this is going to be an email relationship, you can decide to send your content out on a regular basis. It doesn't necessarily have to be daily. The most important thing to do is be regular and be consistent. You want to establish an expectation from your list that you're going to send them value on a regular basis. So every time you send out an email, ask yourself this question: am I about to fix or provide a solution to something to the people on my list? And if your answer is yes, then send that email. So how should you package your content? Here's an example. Let's talk about one of the categories that I mentioned earlier. Let's talk about equipment. There are many subcategories under equipment that you can create content from and deliver to your list. And these are just some of the examples that I came up with. You can talk about tips, do's and don'ts of certain equipment. You can share them, tricks, trainings, demo. You can do coaching and mentoring on equipment. You can educate them and entertain them. And there's a lot of other things that you can create content from, and these are just some of the examples that I came up with. You want to mix and match all those things, and when you start to mix and match all those things, you will see that your list is going to be very responsive, and they're going to open your emails because you're continually nurturing and providing your list solutions to their problems. And you will do the same thing with other categories, just mix and match all those subcategories. So where do you get all of these content from? There are several places to get content. You can get content from your experience. You can talk about your stories. If you have a funny one, that's even better because people like to be entertained. You can get content from your formal training or instructions that you received in the past. If you don't know something, you can always study your niche, increase your knowledge and understanding, and continue to share with your audience. I don't know if you remember that I mentioned about the money is in the list in part 2. This means everything that I cover in this video. Money is in your audience that you're building relationship and trust with. I remember my coach said this, and I think it's very, very powerful, and I'm going to quote here. True selling is when you can reveal your value to those you serve so well that they are happy and excited to give you their time, attention, and eventually their money in exchange for it. So when you build a massive audience with your value, you're also building a life-changing income. So if you practice and apply what I've been sharing with you, there's no doubt that you're going to be successful. Be sure to grab a free copy of this Legendary Marketer book. The book itself is free. You just pay shipping, which is $9.95. I will have the link below. Some of the principles that I share in this video was from Legendary Marketer book, and there is so much more in this book. I have written a detailed review on this book. I will put the link below. So feel free to check it out and see whether or not this book is a good fit for you. Alright guys, I know I have covered a lot here. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and please share this video with others who you think could benefit from this information, specifically those who are looking for the secret to making money online. If you're enjoying this video and find it helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. I will have more videos up in the future. If you guys have any questions, please leave me a comment or connect with me on Facebook, and I will do my best to answer your question. Feel free to check out my website for more information as well. All of the links that I mentioned in this video will be in the description box below, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.